Hello, everybody, and welcome to Optimism Fractal. We're here for our 56th event, and I have the pleasure to be here with a bunch of great builders. Welcome Easy and Jose joining for the first time, joining the Zao Fractal musicians who are coordinating some cool impact events with Giveth going on pretty soon that we'll share in the introductory presentation. Also, so pleased to be here with Abraham and Rosemary and Tadas and Zal and Iasu joining again for the first time and this is the second time since a couple months ago. So thanks all so much for being here. If anyone wants to give a quick hello or shout out, then feel free. Otherwise, I also have a presentation about introduction to Optimism Fractal and what we're going to be doing today with the Respect game. So hope that everybody enjoys the event. Hope that you all enjoy watching the show too, for anybody out there who's watching, and hope you all have a great time. All right, so today we are stepping into Ethereum's gaming layer. Everyone's welcome to join us for an exciting Optimism Fractal event where we'll play the beloved Respect game. And we have this tweet out from the Optimistics team that organizes the events and builds a software that where it shows you how you can pioneer governance and coordination on the Superchain in this tweet. So I encourage you to check it out, like and share, and learn more. And in this presentation, I'm going to give you a little overview, introduction to Respect Game and Optimism Fractal and what we're doing. But you can check out this tweet to see the latest video and a brief overview and some links, as well as the calendar where everybody can get involved in gaming on Ethereum to improve coordination and governance. If you're not familiar with Optimism Fractal, it's a community dedicated to fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and optimizing governance in Superchain. It's also the same thing if you are familiar with Optimism Fractal. You can check out optimismfractal.com to learn more, where you can find all the links about how you can get started. Basically, we host a bi-weekly events on Thursdays at 7 UTC that everyone's welcome to join. They provide a perfect place to network, make friends, and collaborate with talented builders on Superchain. And each event is featured or focused around a innovative on-chain social game called the Respect Game, where everybody shares what they've recently done to help optimism, introduce yourself, collaborate to rank each other's contributions to the superchain, and earn respect, which is a soulbound token that provides growing benefits as our reputation system expands. We also do this in small breakout groups as well. You can find more details about how these work on the website, of course, and everyone's welcome to both watch and play. We have an interactive stage where everybody's welcome to join and share their thoughts and share their work, and also watch the videos too. So we're here to help promote what you're doing on Ethereum, on the Superchain, as well as help share educational resources. And we're building with respect. There's many great builders here who are either building communities with the Respect game or building tools with the Respect game. We have Fractal apps. The Optimistics team has the Optimistics Toolkit, which is an open source suite of tools for community coordination and decentralized governance that you're welcome to check out to learn more. A couple great apps here that you can use to play the Respect game with your community. So Optimism Fractal is a great place to develop your on-chain career and business. You're welcome to join to get more experience in the superchain, as well as learn how you can empower your community with our coordination governance tools. You can grow your reputation by earning the reputation token on the OP mainnet. Learn more in the articles. Enjoy the harvest. We have amazing feedback and great benefits that you can learn here. Very grateful for everybody who's enjoyed the events over the past year and almost a half now. And we're also building in public with open source repositories and Notion site where you can learn more. And there's lots of opportunities to earn funding by contributing to the Optimism Collective, Superchain, and Ethereum ecosystem too. So you can learn more about retro funding and different ways you can get involved on the website. Optimism Fractal is pioneering the future of governance with a powerful governance process called fractal democracy. And we have protocol specifications that you can learn about in our core intents. And there's more articles you can learn about here and see how you can get involved. Everyone's welcome to participate in the Sages Council, which is the council which creates decisions and forms opinions on behalf of Optimism Fractal, as well as the ORDAO software, our on-chain account, where people can execute actions based upon respect tokens and also use the respect tokens to claim Optimism Fractal hats to gain different roles and responsibilities in the community. And we also host an Optimism Town Hall rather at 18 UTC on a Thursdays bi-weekly as well, right after the respect game. So for anybody who wants to stick around afterwards, we talk about Superchain and all sorts of great stuff there. Optimism Fractal is founded and presented by Optimistics, which you can learn about Optimistics.io, and kind of fostered and nurtured by Eden Fractal, which has been building these fractal consensus processes like the Respect game for the past few years, and also hosts bi-weekly events on alternating Thursdays. Everybody's welcome to join these as well. Optimism Fractal is building on the Superchain and interconnected networks of blockchains scaling Ethereum on the open source code base called the OP Stack, with many amazing networks like OP Mainnet Base World, Sonium, Inc., Unichain, Zora, and many more. Check out optimism.io to learn more, ethereum.org. And the best way to get involved with Optimism Fractal is join our biweekly events. Optimism at lou.masha optimistics, optimismfractal.com. We also post on the Optimism Governance Forum too. We have a thread for the past few seasons where you can see our ongoing progress and get involved and learn more about it. Encourage everyone to get more involved with Optimism governance and check it out. Rosemary also provides updates each week and so forth. And Rosemary, speaking of Rosemary, she put out some great tweets too. She puts out the art and the message inviting everyone to join us to play infinite games on Ethereum with the Respect game. Also, shout out to Zal too, the founder of the Zal Fractal. He made a awesome article today about a year of the Zao, day 37, and also invited Easy and Jose and many other great builders here too. So encourage people to check it out. He gave a great overview of the Respect game, innovating governance action, why it matters, and how you can join the movement and shape the future. Also encourage everyone to join the Zao Fractal meetings on Mondays at, I believe, 6 p.m. EST. He has a Luma link too. Also want to give a shout out to Easy as well and Jose, who just joined and for the first time shared that they're working on Impact Concert in collaboration with Giveth too, as I mentioned before. So check it out. I think I pulled up the tweet up. I think I lost a tweet, but check it out and we'll share the link in the tweet in the share notes and encourage everyone to join. This one's happening on Friday, February 7th, Impact Concert, Giveth second edition, and looking forward to hearing more about it during the Respect game. Everyone's welcome to watch the Optimism Fractal videos, which we have up on the top corner. If you go to Optimism Fractal videos, optimismfractal.com/videos, where we have videos for each event of each of the breakout rooms or all the breakout rooms, depending on how many we have. So you can see all the great progress we've made over the past year and a half or so. And there's show notes for each of these videos too that you can explore to see timestamps and so forth and all sorts of cool stuff. So encourage people to check it out and also subscribe to the Eden Creators YouTube channel where we produce these videos and share them each week for Optimism Fractal, Eden Fractal, many other great shows and events too. And invite friends to the next Optimism Fractal event. It'll be happening on Thursday, February 20th, I believe, every other week. So everyone's welcome to join and we encourage you to invite people. We love to meet new people who are interested in Ethereum or optimism or just in general, learn about the on-chain world and economy. And the Optimistics host these events too. In addition, we'll have the Optimism Town Hall and the Eden Fractal. Everyone's welcome to join all these events and we hope to see you there. So real quick, before we get into the Respect game, we also have the Optimism Town Hall after the Respect game, as I mentioned before, and we have a new OP topics poll. There's kind of a summary tweet here, which shows what we've been discussing over the past few weeks and few months. Optimism Town Hall is in its third season now. And you can check out the latest episode where we talked about a Respect game mission for a novel fund distribution mechanism based on the Respect game. So everybody's welcome to watch this episode to learn more. And that's also the top topic for today's Optimism Town Hall event too. So for anybody who can stick around then or wants to join then, we have where you can watch this video to learn more an introduction to it. And then we have the top topic. You're welcome to vote on the Optimism Town Hall snapshot space on the topics. We have a little introductory post here and a new OP topics poll where there's 20 topics. So far, the top topic is the Optimism Fractal Respect game mission, and many others that people can vote for. You could find out how this works, but basically people can vote with the Respect tokens as well as OP and so forth. And I did publish a research post that was approved by the Optimism Collective as a mission to explore funding distribution with Respect game. So that's probably what we'll discuss, but it depends on what has the most votes during the Optimism Town Hall when we get there. But first, we're going to play the Respect game. We're going to earn some respect. So if anybody's not familiar, you can check out optimistic.io/respect game to see how it works, and the benefits and all that stuff like that. But basically how it works is we're going to go into groups of 36 people, random groups, and then each person's going to speak for about 4 minutes or so to share their recent work. Feel free to introduce yourself and anything that you've been doing in relation to optimism and Ethereum, then that's very welcome to share. And then we're going to work to reach consensus on who helped the most, the second most, the third most, and so forth. And if we can reach 2/3 consensus, then we'll all receive respect tokens with people who receive a higher level receiving more. So everyone's welcome to check out the apps too. And yeah, feel free to ask any questions in the breakout room. Everyone's welcome to record. Feel free to share your screen. Feel free to share any links to your work in the Zoom chat or the Optimism Fractal Discord, and hope that everyone has an amazing time. Whew, that was a lot. Okay, so I'm always trying to make this presentation shorter, but it seemed like there's a lot there. So hopefully everybody enjoyed and hopefully it wasn't too long. And I'm going to start up the breakout groups now. Thanks for the hearts, Easy. Much appreciated. Thanks for the claps. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, if anyone wants to share a real quick thought, then do so now. But otherwise, I'm going to start up open the breakout rooms and wish everybody have a great time. And we'll be back here by the top of the hour. Try to wrap a bit soon if we can.
Sorry, what's your name again? Jose?
Jose. Like Joseph in Spanish. Jose.
Okay. I can't hear you very well. If it could be a bit louder, if you.
My microphone?
Yeah, I think.
It's a little quiet. Tadas' volume is a lot louder.
Now?
I'm able to hear you okay. Is that okay for you, Tadas?
Okay.
Well, it's good enough. Just I increased my volume, but
Did you say your name is pronounced Jose or Jose?
Jose.
Jose. Okay, cool.
Uh-huh.
Just want to make sure I wasn't mispronouncing it there. Okay, very cool. Well, great to see y'all. Yeah, Jose, if you had any questions or anything there, then feel free before we get started. But otherwise, we can also get started with the respect game, and everybody can take turns. We only have four of us here, so we could probably take 5 minutes each. Whoever wants to go first, feel free.
I can go first, I guess.
All right, sounds good.
Can you enable screen sharing then?
Oh, yep, sorry about that. You have access now.
Okay, thanks. Okay, you should see my screen now.
Yep.
Yes, so over past 2 weeks, since last Optimism Fractal meeting, I've been working on Fraps repository. Yeah, so maybe a short intro for Jose. My main work, maybe contribution project in Optimism Fractal is ORDAO software, which is an app including smart contracts and everything else to run fractal organizations, including issuing mechanisms to issue respect tokens and so on in a decentralized manner and so on. And yeah, so Fraps repo was the initial repo where I created the ORDAO, but then I separated into a separate repository, and this is quite significant for me because it makes sense for me to have to separate the actual code for the application and all the scripts and stuff needed to set up the infrastructure and deployment for ORDAOs. Because there are multiple fractals now that use ORDAO software, and yeah, and so the way it's organized is that you have apps directory, and currently it's just ORDAO app. In the future, it will at least be multiple versions of ORDAO probably, because not all fractals might adopt the ORDAO newest version of ORDAO at the same pace, so I might need to support to have infrastructure both for older versions of ORDAO as well as new. And then another key component is fractals directory. So here is a shorthand names for each of the fractals. For example, this is for Optimism Fractal. And the main file here of interest is this JSON file, which is basically configuration for an app. Configuration for ORDAO apps, so it provides all the information needed to run ORDAO for that specific fractal. And then in the middle you have source folder which contains scripts that basically take configurations from fractals folder and configures apps in the apps folder in a way that and basically does everything, including running the app, running server-side components, serving front end, deploying smart contracts, and so on. So the way it could work is that people who want to deploy a fractal for their community, they can create a pull request, adding a directory here with a frap.json like this, which contains configuration where we express like how we want the fractal to be deployed, including like token metadata, deployment mechanisms, and so on. And yeah, and that will make it a lot easier for me to manage all the different fractals. Yeah, so that's one thing. I did this over the last few weeks. Yeah, and currently I deployed all the current fractals from this repo now, so it's already tested. And soon enough, I will deploy for Eden Fractal and then Zao Fractal from this. At least that's the plan. And other thing I did was organize another ORDAO office hours meeting. And this time the topic was around ORDAO Fractal. So purpose of ORDAO Fractal would be to test new versions of ORDAO and to have a place to test new governance structure, governance processes, and and share initial versions of ideas. Currently, it's just an idea that I'm still considering, and we had a productive discussion with Dan and Rosemary in our office hours, where we also distributed respect, and yeah, also I prepared an intent document, so like we kind of Optimism Fractal has, and I'm kind of happy with this because it's very simple and it does not contain more than it absolutely is needed. But it could be a starting point for people to understand how ORDAO Fractal would work. Yeah, and as always, I did the system administration kind of tasks, like executed respect distribution for Optimism Fractal, and so on. Yep, I think that's all for me. Sorry for going over time.
All good. Thanks so much, Tadas, for all the great work. Really exciting stuff. And whenever you're ready, you can choose somewhere to go next.
Abraham, you're unmuted.
Okay. That's pretty amazing and seems like a lot of work. Thanks for trying to push forward with doing different organizations and yeah, I really appreciate it, especially for some of the stuff I'm working on. So for me, I did do a Buildium session with 14 users at my job. So we got that taken care of, and I'll probably be integrating. I will send a config soon for the smart contract part of that. So that went really well. There's a couple things that came out of it, some updates that I want to make. So that was exciting, not necessarily completely related to Optimism, but still very cool. Optimism related, I did today just notify everybody that there was a scam in place that was really convincing for the Superchain registry 2.0 vote. And I got a phishing email and it looked like it was from the collective. And I even clicked on it. I didn't actually submit. I didn't approve the on-chain action, but it would have drained a lot of money out of my wallet. And it looks like several other people had actually clicked on it and lost their money. So I tried to let everybody know about that. So I also did vote on that topic in the Optimism Collective, the Superchain registry. It wasn't really a super big deal. It seemed like they're making some updates to the way that new chains have to register on Superchain. So it was cool to read. Yeah, I'm thankful to take part in that. And let's see what else. As far as the app itself, I did a couple CSS updates, just making the radio buttons look a little darker. But in the background, my main push right now is trying to get the the fast forward feature working. So when either somebody loses connectivity or we don't get like full consensus, but everybody wants to move forward, I want to have like a really simple way that you can just hit fast forward and then go to the next ranking. But I also don't want to break the code that I wrote already. So I'm trying to I'm putting in some unit tests, and I don't have any unit tests on the repo yet. So it'll help to make the whole thing work better and be more it'll just help it to be more robust and perform better. So I'm going to put some unit tests around that. And then I've got the fast forward button made, and I'm going to kind of try to make it a little more mobile friendly. So I worked on that a lot on the airplane going back and forth to San Diego. But yeah, that's about it for me. Jose.
Hey guys, I'm having my time digesting the English, especially like with Tadas and the repository of GitHub. I was like, oh my God, okay, I'm doing my best to understand what is happening here. But I really like this interaction of like having the work in progress together. I would like to screen share. I never screen shared here before. Okay. So I wanted to share about my. It has to be what I did this week.
It's usually over the past 2 weeks that we share what we've done, but also feel free to just generally introduce yourself and feel free to share things that you've done from longer ago as well.
Thank you, guys.
You're
I'm
welcome.
a musician from Venezuela that has no death cards and that started on crypto when it was 17 years old. I started I did a lot of street music. In that year, it was really hard here. I lose 20 kilograms of weight because I didn't have what to eat while I was studying in the university. And after the university go to bankrupt and I entered into crypto to do my content and keep going on my journey as an artist, I found as a sound engineer a mathematical infinite pattern of music that is aligned to Fibonacci and that is not on the internet. Since I found that, my journey as a musician got some meaning into what music is besides entertainment. What is the capability of music for social impact, for education, for synthesis of information, and for real branding? That journey took me into the idea that the first blockchain nodes, the first data buses for humanity were the bards thousands of years ago, right? And I was enjoying that idea that even if I'm not a piece of technology, I can be part of the blockchain by being a street musician that goes to this and this community and gets to connect with people and create synergies. Through these 8 years doing that vibe, I have been able to meet cross-chain people, and I'm a blockchain agnostic guy, so I don't look to put the shield of any project because I think that's bullshit. I like to connect with everybody because I think that's real and Web3. So I having a journey that connects with different projects, and I like to connect interesting people from all over different places because I see there's potential of something good, some cultural energy. So I want to share my projects on Giveth. A year ago, I was able to create my Giveth projects. This is my digital street musician doing free live concerts. So all the music that I do is free. Right now, I'm on this quadratic funding round. Per every $5 that I receive, I can really increase the matching funds received. So, and this quadratic funding formula has something interesting, and is that you have to donate to 3 or more projects to get a better boost. So I figured that in the previous session, I was the second project with most funds received, and the 5 projects I highlighted in the impact concert were in the top 10. So we noticed that there's a good impact and a good value that the impact concerts provide. For this round, we decided to make another one, this time for 10 projects, and educating the community that the less you donate to each project and the more projects you donate, the more boost that you actually get per each project. So we are doing this event as the excuse to promote these projects and get people educated from different sites, because you have Web3 natives that doesn't have a Gitcoin password. So our only onboarding with them will be to teach them about Gitcoin and show them the different ways they have to verify their humanity score. But we also have people like my mother or like people outside of Web3 that we have to make a deeper onboarding into getting a Web3 wallet, having a safety talk. So this is a multicultural experience that is made for onboarding, leverage, and retention in the sector of Web3, that is music and social impact, but also art, science, and spirituality related. I think that if people that is new to the ecosystem comes to the concert and they don't want to donate, maybe they are interested in to do their own Giveth project. So I think there's a lot, like a win-win situation into coming to the concert and get education here from different natives that handles the communication. And what we are looking to have is a peer-to-peer experience that can be custom for each one of the people to be onboarded. In my case, on Venezuela, like without that much connection, without a non capacity to save, to make savings, it took me a lot of years to get into the learning curve. And what I want to do is to be synthesis of information for similar cases and for basically everybody that wants to be a musician, to save them years in the process, that I have been able to getting all my resources through Web3 to be able to have a normal life in a country that is not normal. So this concert is the synthesis of all that work. This is my project. And with this project of music, experimenting music and social impact, I was able to onboard, along with my partner, an indigenous community from the Venezuelan Amazon that now has a Giveth project too. We are representing them. And this project right now in this round that we got nominated by a sports DAO, it's to get infrastructure for sports on the community so they can have a soccer balloon, so they can have shoes. And we have that data compiled of shoe sizes, of what does it take to make the courts. We want to make a football court and a volleyball court for this round with them. And with the music, basically that's my fuel. In digital street music, I have a tip jar. This Giveth project is my tip jar, and that's how I'm able to keep going in my experiment as a Web3 artist. I have been able to onboard many musicians. Some of the musicians and projects that will be on the concert were onboarded by those initiatives. And the time I'm allowed to do all of that is thanks to these donations. Is how do I get time to put me on an onboarding mindset? Well, I'm here to connect to the music in any corner of the Web3. Let me know. Well, nice to share. Thank you. I'm sorry for the delay.
No problem, Jose. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your story and your music with the world, as well as how you're interacting and engaging on Web3 to spread your message and music and stuff like that. I'd love to see it. So thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you.
And if there's anything else you wanted to add to wrap it up, then feel free. But otherwise, whenever you're ready, if you could stop sharing your screen, then I can go
Okay.
ahead.
I'm sorry. Come over to the concert, guys.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so one I showed before as well. So that one's coming Friday in like 24 hours or something like that. Okay, sounds good. Well, we'll share the link. Feel free to share that link again if you want, or as I shared before, we had the Optimism Discord. You're very welcome to share it there. And yeah, I'd love to check it out. So thanks for
Let me get
also organizing that.
Luma. Let me
And
get
also,
the Luma and share it here quickly.
cool. And you said it was the first time you joined the Zao Fractal this past week too, right? So that's also a cool thing you did
Yes.
Optimism as well. So very much
Yes.
appreciate you sharing and supporting up Zao Fractal.
I connected Sol like 2 years ago. He went into my Discord music experience activity I had in a DAO, and he arrived, and I connected with him, and I introduced him to Easy and Token Smart, and now they are connected and working together. That is amazing to see happening. Just with a connection, with a sharing of space and quality time, like international connections that are meaningful is something that I like we can do now thanks to this technology.
Amazing. Super cool. Well, thanks for connecting, JC and Zal, and looking forward to collaborating with you more going forward and learning more about your work and seeing what we can do to empower people with this technology. I agree. And see you putting out some confetti and some rockets. Very nice, very cool. Okay, I suppose I'll go ahead then and share what I have been doing to help Optimism over the past couple weeks now. And then if anybody has any questions for anybody before we start reaching consensus, then feel free to maybe save those up for after I go. Okay, so I always have difficulty putting the timer on myself, but I think I can do it though. Okay, so the first thing I had up is once again for anybody watching the Impact concert, Give a Second Edition that Jose is hosting with JC. So I encourage people to check it out Friday, February 7th, 3 p.m. EST. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share what I did to help Optimism over the past couple weeks. I sometimes have difficulty ever since we switched to bi-weekly to remember what I did a week and a half ago, but I'll try my best to remember. Um, in general, the brief introduction to my role, I'm Dan Singjoy, and yeah, there's probably a lot of stuff that I'll forget because I often forget what I can share, or there's just not enough time to share it in the 5 minutes. But I'll share a lot of good stuff. I do a lot of work constantly. I'm working full time on Optimism and on Ethereum. With Optimism Fractal, Eden Fractal, and Optimism Town Hall, I coordinate these events each week and propose topics and coordinate with the promotions for them, as well as I coordinate a lot with Tadas and Abraham and other builders who are building the Fractal apps. So in this week in particular, I've done a lot of like behind the scenes communication with a bunch of builders and also coordinate with Rosemary on the video production as well for the Eden creators. You can learn more about each of these on the websites that are shown, and dancingjoy.com has an overview as well. So yeah, I provide a little overview of these things, but I'm constantly working on the event hosting, technical development, leadership, community marketing, website development. I'm building all these websites and making lots of improvements to them along the way, and funding raising efforts and campaign development and a lot of private communications to help people understand the respect game and help attract more funding for fractal governance processes on the Superchain and so forth. So dancingjoy.com, you can learn more about that. So I suppose the first thing I did 2 weeks ago was I hosted this event, the Optimism Town Hall, right after the Optimism Fractal event last 2 weeks ago, where I introduced this mission that I had created that I got approved for a grant from the Optimism Grants Council a few months ago. And so in this video, I provided an overview. I was kind of sick during this video, but I provided an overview of what the mission was and the respect game and so forth, and how it could be used for distributing funding. So Rosemary did a great job of producing that and putting together show notes, but I hosted that and organized it. Or I suppose I organized it. Or I hosted it. I organized it before then, and then I made a pretty big post, or two posts rather, on the governance forum for the Optimism Fractal Respect Game, research into democratic fund distribution, which I'll share more about probably at the town hall if that's still the same a top topic. But started off with an introduction to the proposal and what the Respect Game is and so forth, and then I provided an overview of challenges of making impact equal profit, which is the main axiom of the optimistic vision. Talking about difficulties with recognition and fair evaluation, dependable builder incentives, and scalable implementation, and talked about how the current Season 7 intents and Retro 2025 programs solve this to some extent, but also don't solve it to a large extent as well, and how the Respect game can solve this. So I provided more details about the problems here, and then I provided how the Respect game can provide a solution for fund distribution in a much more fair and democratic way, in a much more scalable way too. That can also be combined with other mechanisms. But this basically lays out the ideas of the research, and then I laid out the research goals and vision to help with the Optimism Fractal community and any other community that wants to implement this democratic fund distribution system through the Respect game, and also for the core processes of the Optimism Collective, such as retro funding in the Grants Council and Token House and Citizens House. And then I laid out an overview of the research deliverables that I'll deliver over the coming months. And then I made an initial technical architecture blueprint where you can see an overview of how it will work, this fund distribution system with the design principles. I'll get into more details about this, but basically the system architecture has a legal and compliance layer, community coordination layer, and a fund distribution layer. And I provide more details about each of these here. So yeah, but I'll save that more for later. Thanks to us for the feedback on this. I also, along with this, I updated the Optimism Fractal Hats tree article because we're planning to integrate Hats tree, the Hats tree, Hats protocol for this as well. So I made some updates because that article was a bit outdated. So I just kind of cleaned it up and added some new stuff there. Didn't make huge changes, but something that I did that came to mind there. And then I also hosted the Eden Fractal event last week too. So hosted these on every other week, and we had a great event for the Eden Fractal meeting last week where we talked with people from the Zao Fractal once again. We talked about board games and ORDAO deployment. I think we talked about ORDAO deployment and stuff like that. So we had a great conversation about respect game and helping the fractal ecosystem, and all sorts of good topics there. And then I also put together a detailed topic and a new OP topics poll that I briefly introduced before for topics to discuss at this week's Optimism Town Hall, as well as future Optimism Town Halls till the end of the season. So you can see an overview that I posted on the governance forum here of those Optimism Town Hall topics, along with an introductory post that kind of like lays out what we've discussed so far at the Optimism Town Hall so far. And I made 20 topics because I figured I'm trying a new thing here where we have a bunch of topics that we could discuss. So and then there's this OP topics poll where you can see more details here. I'll go into like 30 seconds or so just because I have a couple other quick things to share. I also attended and participated in the ORDAO office hours, working to support Tadas with the new ORDAO Fractal initiative and provide some feedback there. And then Tadas and Abraham, I've been meaning to reach out with you since yesterday, but I met with my friend Joshua, who leads Super Civilization, and he wants to deploy several fractals, and he's very interested. And so I had a long conversation with him yesterday about doing this. So yeah, more details about that later. I also put out some tweets, provided a bit of feedback on the promotions, and then put out some tweets to help promote the Optimism Fractal event as well as the ZAO Fractal as well. Oh, and then I just responded to Abraham and encouraged him to share this hack detail. And I've also been planning for ETH Denver. That's it for me. Thanks all for listening, and apologies for going a bit over. If anybody has any questions or comments for anybody, then feel free. And also we can get started with the consensus whenever we're ready to. I don't know if I should create that, or Abraham or Tadas, if you want to start that room.
I
Yeah,
can.
let's get. Let's say logged in.
Yeah.
Logged into what? Do I have to log in somewhere?
Yeah, so there's going to be an app that we'll share the link, or maybe I'll share it once I pull it up. That's the
Okay.
Fractalgram app. That's the app that Abraham has
Yeah.
been building, where you can play the respect game.
The same app that I used with Sao the other week, right?
Yep, that's right.
Mm. You will send a link? It's okay. I will wait.
Yep, I'll send it over in a moment.
Yeah.
I got it. I'll post it.
And I don't
Cool.
know if will have some minutes at the end, but if it's possible and you guys would like to listen a song, will be more than happy to share.
Okay, cool. Well, we're gonna try to wrap up. Thank you for that offer, by the way. I'd love to hear your music. We're gonna try to wrap up the respect game by well, we need to wrap it up by 13 minutes from now, the top of the hour. And I don't know if we'll have time afterwards, depending on how fast we reach consensus. But would love to hear it. Also, I see for some reason everybody left the room one. There previously was 5 people, now just Rosemary there. So I don't know what happened there, if everybody got tired or something. But maybe I'll invite Rosemary here, and then maybe if you have a chance, Jose, if you want to share that musical performance with us after we play the respect game, if we have time, then we'd love it. If not, we could also schedule it for another time too, because we'd love to hear it, and we'll just see if we can fit it in the schedule. And I don't know if you're able to stick around past the top of the hour, because we also will have more time then too. If you want to share something, then that could be cool too.
I would love to connect. Let's see how it goes. I have a movie day. We have some repairs going on right now, actually. But I have a question. Looks like I already have a profile here in the Sao, right? Do I have to switch to Optimism Fractal to participate on this one? In
Yeah,
organization.
you go to your profile and then just change your organization to my Optimism Fractal, and you should be able to vote in that one.
Great.
I know, Abraham, there was a message that Zal shared in the Optimism Fractal chat this morning that said that one of his teammates is having trouble saving the organization. I don't know if you had the chance to check that out, but hopefully that'll all work out. I don't know if that's the same thing he's trying to do there, but just bring it to your attention
Yeah,
in case you didn't see it.
I did see it. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to dig into it yet. But
Okay.
I definitely want to help.
Okay.
Is it Jose Cabrera? Okay, showed up in the Optimism Fractal, so we can start. Do you guys want me to spin up the session?
Sure, that'd be cool.
All right, so we're in group 2,
Sounds good.
Yes.
and then I've got. Let's see, where is Tadas? There you are, Tadas. And Dan Singjoy at Proton Mail.
Yep, that works. Yep. Yeah, I created another one at Gmail the other day when I was sharing with my friend. But the Proton one's good.
All right, here we go. Let's create.
Cool.
Hold on a second. I think I left myself out of that session. That wasn't
Oh.
very smart. I should
I
probably make that automatic.
yeah, that would be good.
Okay, hold on. Sorry. Yeah. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. There we go. Okay. You
Cool.
should see session 121 come in.
Okay, sounds good. I see I'm in. I'd also be curious, Abraham. Well, it'd be good to reach consensus soon, but I'm curious because you only spoke for a few minutes, I think, and you mentioned briefly about the first, I think, respect game that you played with Bill Diem, and
Uh-huh.
I think there was 14 people. You said, I guess 14 engineers. I don't know. I think you lead an engineering team there, so curious.
Yeah.
You said it doesn't really have something to do direct with Optimism yet, but you said you're planning to deploy the ORDAO smart contracts at some point, so that would be deployed on super chains, on Optimism, on OP mainnet or base, something like that, I imagine. But I'm curious if you want to provide any more detail about that, about how it went and how the experience was and stuff.
Sorry, guys. I
Well,
have a question. I have to join to team 120 or 121?
121.
121.
Yeah.
Okay, ready. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, well, it went really well. We did breakout groups, and the unfortunate part was I had two administrators, just myself and someone else. So we ended up having to break into groups that were larger than 6. And so that presented a little bit of a problem. I think there's some sort of loose ends to be worked out there just in process wise, but the app performed pretty well. It was yeah, it was myself and 14 other developers, and we come together for a chapter, and the idea is just that there's many different teams in my organization. Members from each team come together in this governing chapter so that we can decide on front end standards and try to decide on best practices and all that kind of stuff. So we all got together, and we're just trying to, this first time was really about just getting people using the game, and then eventually we're gonna give out gift cards for people who get the most respect, and then we'll probably assign voting rights too, so that um, they can actually, help shape the direction of the chapter in a almost like a DAO sort of way.
All right, fascinating. Well, thanks so much for introducing Buildium to that, to the respect game, and looking forward to seeing how it evolves.
Cool. And have you
Yeah.
thought about where you would deploy ORDAO? Where do you want to deploy?
Possibly just I don't know if I can pair it with the Vercel instance, or if I probably would need to, deploy it from some other, I don't know,
I mean,
AWS or something. Yeah.
regarding the blockchain, like smart contracts, I will have to deploy
Oh,
smart contracts for you and
like, yeah, we'd probably put it on OP
Optimism.
mainnet. Yeah.
Yeah, so you mentioned that you don't see it as a contribution to Optimism Fractal, but I think it's very much contribution to the mission of Optimism Fractal, because if you're deploying on P mainnet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's its contribution to Optimism because it's kind of onboarding people before it's onboarding people officially. And like 14 developers at your company, that's like a really cool way that you could implement the respect game. So I'm excited to see that. We have 3 votes cast, by the way. I don't know if anybody, well, clearly, it's just Jose hasn't voted yet. So Jose, if you
It's
could
me.
please, okay, if you could please
Yeah,
vote for whoever you think deserves the most respect this week, whoever you think did the most help Optimism this week.
I just voted.
Okay, thank you. We have 2 votes for Abraham,
Oh, there it
1 vote
goes.
for me, and 1 vote for Tadas. Did you say there it goes? Did it change?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it's still updating for me. Do we have consensus?
No, because we've got 50 on me and 25 on you and 25 on Tadas.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I voted, Dan, I voted for you just because I feel like you are doing a lot of organization behind the scenes. You're talking to a lot of different people. You're also helping to connect these dots. between organizations. You're promoting, especially with the Optimism Foundation, the collective. I mean, there's so much work that goes into that, and it's a lot of not only just it's not just a lot of like writing, but it's a lot of emotional effort to like put all this stuff together, put yourself out there, try and like pitch it and pitch it and
Yes.
pitch it. Like I just want to recognize your effort in trying to get all that
Yeah.
aligned and keeping the meetings going. And so that was what I
It's so
really appreciate.
important. And I want to mention to that appreciation that Abraham had, that usually with the work that is more technical, like coding, like you got more of a clear structure, but what are you getting paid to? And you don't do more than that, period. But when you work in communications, there's a magical work that nobody pays. The word is iteration, and it takes hours and days. And
Yeah.
it requires empathy, and it's a soft skill that is still on Web3, in my experience. It's still looking for his way to fit in harmony. So yeah, kudos to you for holding that vibe on those sectors.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Jose. Thank you very much, Abraham. I appreciate that a lot. And kudos to both of you too. I think what you're doing, Jose, sounds amazing with the music, and the communications and community building around it too. So much appreciated. And I had previously voted for Abraham because I think one, the technical development that he's doing with Fractalgram is super important. It makes the respect game more and more usable, and the integration with ORDAO. I also thought about it was a tough decision, but I also at the integration and first event with Buildium was pretty exciting too. So that was part of the reason. I see somebody changed the vote to me, so now I have 50%. So I'm happy to switch to myself if it helps reach consensus, and we only do have a few minutes, so I'm getting some nods. So okay, I'll change myself. Thanks all for
Take
the
it, dude.
respect. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Okay, so we have consensus reached.
I voted for Tadas because I think that the coding work requires also the same, like structure, ordering, having everything clean, and that it's a work that can take up to weeks. And yeah, I wasn't able to understand what is the work because I'm really new, but I appreciate the effort having able to work with developers on my side, and I know it's a stressful duty that requires to be clean, to have synthesis, and that requires a lot of test. And in a Web3 environment where you get different collaborators, this and that, it can get messy. So yeah, kudos to you too.
Thanks.
Yep,
Yeah, I
great.
also vote for you, Tadas, but just because I know how difficult it is taking a code base and dividing it up into different pieces and trying to account for all the different organizations and making sure they all work independently, but also have the same code shared in many places. So yeah, so I really appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
Okay, well, yeah, previously voted for Abraham. I see it's split right now, so part of me wants to vote for Abraham. Also, Tadas started the ORDAO Fractal too, which I think is going to be like a really great step for the ORDAO office hours and the ORDAO software. I could see ORDAO, and so Jose, just for some of my perspective, I've been following Tadas work with the ORDAO software. And I think it's going to be really transformative for many communities and many organizations. I think Tadas doesn't like to think that far ahead from what I heard, but I think it's gonna be really powerful. So I think that's a great step to ORDAO Fractal. I didn't vote for him in the beginning because he kind of just started and he hasn't really launched it yet. And I thought the building thing was cool, but I'm happy to vote for Tadas too if that would be helpful. But yeah, we should probably reach consensus. So maybe I don't know. Abraham advocated for Tadas, maybe. Oh, but then Tadas voted for Abraham. Tadas advocate for Abraham too. So
Yes.
maybe I'll go with Tadas. Yeah, I think
How
that'll.
about we save mine for when I deliver the next update or something and give this one to Das.
Yeah, when you submit your first results for Buildium on OP mainnet, that's when you should be top 100%.
Can
Yeah,
I
there we
split
Yeah.
go.
my vote in two? Just joking.
Okay, well, Looks like we have 2/3 of the votes for Tadas and Abraham, but Jose hasn't yet voted. So it is not technically possible to split your vote in two. Maybe we'll have to ask Abraham or Tadas to
Oh,
build that feature in.
I
But
didn't I didn't vote it.
no, you voted in the previous level for Tadas, but this level you didn't vote. I think you have to resubmit your vote.
What next level?
What's up?
I have to vote again.
Yeah, you have to vote on level 5 now. So you can vote for Tadas again if you want, or if you change your mind, you want to vote for yourself or Abraham, that's welcome too.
Well, I'm going to vote for Abraham on this one
Oh,
because
oops.
I didn't vote for him on the previous, and I think that he deserves also a vote because he is also working. I'm going to get to know what is his work about in the upcoming weeks. Hopefully, getting to know more about you guys. But yeah, I just did my level 5 vote. I don't know what I'm doing, guys, but I'm doing it.
Thank you, Jose. Appreciate you sharing your thoughts. It's very cool how you're explaining your rationale and supporting it. So I appreciate it very much. But we don't have consensus now. So we have 50% of those for Abraham, 50% of the votes for Tadas. I'm happy to go either way, and we are at the top of the hour, so we should try to wrap it up as soon as possible. Does anybody want to switch their vote? I don't know. I feel like Tadas and Abraham might be voting for each other. So if anyone wants to switch their vote for themselves, then feel free. Or I could switch my vote for Abraham to give him consensus too now.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Looks like I fucked up this, right? I'm sorry, guys.
It's all good. All good. They both deserve a lot of respect. So
It was okay at first. You said Dan, then you said me, and then Abraham. So Abraham will get level 4. So yeah, we need
okay, well, if anyone wants to switch over to Tadas, then feel free to do so now, and Tadas will get level 5. If not, then maybe I'll switch over to Abraham in like 15 seconds, so just we can reach consensus.
Okay,
But
I forgot I can
to
switch
Tadas.
my vote.
yeah, you can switch
there
your
it
vote for
goes.
Tadas if you want.
I can to Tadas
Yeah,
because of
do it.
democracy.
Okay.
Dig it.
Now Tadas has 100%. Now it's 100% consensus.
That's too much. Let's go back.
Yeah, too much consensus. Okay, now we can vote for level 4 between Abraham and Jose.
Okay, so the practice is the best way to understand it. I think that in the Salt DAO voting, I think that we messed up a little. I think that somebody couldn't join, so I never was able to see this. I think that now I'm getting it's like you have a different tiers of votes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's level 6, which is
Mm.
the most respect, who have the most, level 5, who have the second most, and level 4, who have the third most, and so forth. So now we're voting for level 4. So it's who do you think helped the third most after me and Tadas this week? And so now you can vote for either yourself or Abraham.
Oh, I think that Abraham, because he have been doing stuff with more regularity, I haven't been able to attend, so I haven't been that constancy. He have represented constancy like in this week, so yeah, my vote goes to Abraham. Props to
Okay.
you, Abraham.
Thank you, brother.
Well, we have Abraham level 4. That means Jose will get level 3. Of course, we all get respect from reaching consensus. So, and huge props and thanks and respect to you, Jose, too. I hope that you've enjoyed the respect game so far, and I hope you'll be inspired to join back again soon.
I
I'm
like
looking
it.
forward to learning more about your music and listening as well. I got a message from Rose. Oh, sorry, what's that?
No, I say I'm sorry because I got the transaction confirmed in the push. I pushed the transaction and I got that
Excellent.
noise. Didn't want to mess with you with the noise.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I hear a little noise. So glad to hear the transaction went well. You heard we could do that. I got a message from Rosemary saying, "Dan, are you ready?" in all caps. So I think we should head back to the community room now, and then we can continue talking there. Thanks all for the great respect game, and I'll see you back in the community room for anybody who can join us back there.
Back when they still had it in the art district on Broadway, and it was spread out across 6 different venues. So,
Oh,
so this will be my 4th.
great. We're talking about the Denver.
I figured I heard art district, and I know Will had
Yeah.
shared the art gallery link, and he also shared the
Yeah,
Denver
for
link. So
art
thank you so much for sharing the
submissions.
side events. Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you very
and then I
much.
shared the side events in the Discord as well. That's the official Luma page, or Lu.ma page as you refer to it.
Uh-huh.
So that's the official Luma page. However, like I said, it's comprehensive, but probably not all inclusive. And I'm sure there are organizers setting up other events as well, because I'm also part of ORDAO. We have an event page as well that I can curate that link as well. There is a really cool co-working event that spans the whole time that's happening called Carrot Castle. I don't know if you guys have heard about it or not. It feels a lot like Edge City, but RNDAO. So they're a research DAO, research and development DAO. They're one of the co-sponsors of the event. And I know that HATS Protocols, I don't know if you've been in touch with David or not, HATS Protocol is going to have their own side event as well. So I'll get you that unlock side event ETH Denver link as well in the Discord.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Will. Really appreciate
Yeah.
that. I'm really excited to meet you in a couple of weeks. I'll be there.
Yeah, it's
looking
like
forward to
we
spending a lot
had
of
the
time
opportunity
together.
to. It's like we had the opportunity to meet last year, but we just never crossed paths. So
Yeah, and when we hadn't yet met, you hadn't joined Optimism Fractal before then. So yeah, it'll be super cool to actually take advantage of the opportunity now, and hopefully we can spend a lot of time together and go to a lot of those side events together. And yeah, really appreciate you sharing this. I hadn't heard about the Carrot Castle, for example. I have heard about the Hats one. I went to the Hats Protocol event last year. It was awesome. And RNDAO is doing great work. I see also, by the way, Jose wrote, "Hi guys, it was fun. Looks like Easy tried to share a form Giveth project, and provided it was on your Fractal room and provide the link here. Yeah, if you want to share a little bit, both also welcome JX too. Thanks for joining. I don't think we've met before. We do have an agenda of topics that I can get into momentarily with the Optimism Town Hall. Sorry that we took a little bit longer coming back to your respect game, but hope everybody had a great time in your respect game. And yeah, before we get into the Optimism Town Hall topics, we have a couple exciting ones, or we have a bunch, we have about 20 exciting topics, but I think there's one about, well, we'll see. I know Will voted for the respect game mission, so we might discuss that, but we'll see if anybody had any votes you want to submit then, and feel free. But perhaps Jose, if you wanted to share any thoughts on the respect game or what you just shared there, then feel free. If you want to give a little brief intro for anybody who hasn't been here or hasn't seen it yet, or if you want to provide any feedback on the respect game and your experience with Optimus Fractal, and same to you, JX, too, if you want to give a little introduction to yourself too and share any feedback, then that's welcome. And also, Jose, I know you said you'd like to play a song for us too, which I very much appreciate. Jose's a musician and he shared his music. So if you want to, and we should get going with the agenda pretty soon, but maybe if you want to play for like a short song for maybe like a minute or something like that, and then we could schedule more time for a longer song at some point. And if you want to share any feedback or anything like that, and then feel free.
I would love to share a tiny song right now, and I was really happy about the respect game. This is a tiny one. A veces me aferro tanto a los momentos que cuando se acaban me causan dolor. Y ese es mi karma de tanto soñar. El tiempo todo lo cambia. Es transformación. Que el tiempo es una distancia que cambia la percepción. Tu frío quitámoslo. No me entregues nada. La eterna madrugada nos mira en un rincón. Bailaba sin distracción la canción de la muerte. Nuestro código inherente también se hizo canción. Tanto talento que tienen tus ojos tardíos. Muero de risa con todos tus juegos mentales. El argumento más denso ahora es la brisa de tus valores tan tiernos y tan naturales. Canto y conecto los puntos a tiempo con rima. Y tú no sabes de dónde van mis disparates. Que manifiesto seguido en los medios días. Que dan color de mi esencia a tus realidades. It's a tiny version. Happy to share.
Woo-hoo.
Awesome, amazing. I saw a bunch of people gave hearts and claps and stuff. We got Rosemary and Tadas giving claps too. And JX again there with the claps too. That was super good. I'm very impressed. Thank you so much, Jose, for sharing your music with us.
Hold la vibra. Hold the vibe.
Hold the vibe. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed the respect game too. It was such it was a huge pleasure speaking with you and getting to know you at the respect game too. So I see Tadas and you. Feel free to jump in if you want there. And then yeah, I'd love Jose if you could share. I know you shared the link to the event that you're hosting with Easy later or tomorrow in the chat. If you want to also share any links in the Zoom chat or also the Discord as well. I would love to dive in deeper and maybe listen to your, well, I'll definitely listen to your music sometime. So yeah, I know also you shared your Giveth grant page too. So if you want to share that, that's a place where
Oh,
people
I
would
will.
support you, I believe
Yes.
too. So yeah, would love to see more links if you want to share them.
Thank you, guys. Yes, we have two projects on Giveth on this round. This is my music project. With this, you are supporting me directly to cover my infrastructure, to allow me time to do onboarding. And this is the project of an indigenous community in the Venezuelan Amazon that we were able to onboard to Web3, and we have been having direct impact on them through the Giveth. So with this music contest, we are able to get funds for us to do the things that we like to do as a community here locally, musicians, artisans, and people aligned with ancestral communities. This is the Cyborg Amish seeking balance, connecting roots to the wireless.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much for the overview and encourage people to check out the links that you shared in the Zoom chat. I'll also share the Discord, and if you haven't joined there yet, you're very welcome to join and share your links there too. And then I'll also pull up the links that you shared in the presentation momentarily too, before we start with the Optimism Town Hall, so everybody can get a visual overview of your work and the upcoming event. So yeah, thanks so much, Jose. If there's anything else you want to share, then feel free. And also JX, haven't heard from you yet. I don't know if I'm sure Rosemary and the other people in the other breakout room have. And I see Rosemary's says she's generating the voting link. So thank you, Rosemary, for taking care of that. JX, if you'd like to say hello or introduce yourself or share any feedback or thoughts on the Optimism Fractal, then feel free. If you prefer to just listen in, then that's okay too. And we can get started with the respect game whenever we're ready. But yeah, JX or Jose or anybody else has any other thoughts you want to share before we get started, then feel free to do so.
I will have to go because the concert is tomorrow and we just had like a week to produce it. So I will go doing all the stuff, but I'm really happy to be here. Sure that with Easy and with Sol I will be aligned with these spaces. I will get into the Discord. Yeah, I will love to reconnect. It was a good vibe. I appreciate your energy, Dan. Dan Sink Joy. That is a beautiful last name.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, at some point it'd be great to jam together too.
Dude, I bet. Like, I wish I could book you for the concert before. And if we might have somebody that cannot attend, I will send you a spontaneous knock on your door to see if you can get some magic happen. So, be
Okay.
attentive.
Sounds great. Thank you. Also, by the way, Rosemary and Abraham are excellent musicians as well too. So at some point we can got a concert with all of us too. We got a lot of great musicians
Dude,
here.
Dude,
So
Optimism has a whole impact ecosystem. Impact Concert is not a project of Giveth. Impact Concert is a cosmic vehicle that we use to weave into all the public goods and Web3 social impact ecosystem so we can get to know each other. So definitely we can maybe do an Impact Concert, Optimism, retroactive public funds, good related. I don't know. You tell me.
excellent. Well, yeah, look forward to organizing this impact concert on optimism and supporting public goods. That sounds amazing. I'd love to do that. And yeah, thanks so much for joining. I shared the Discord there, so you're welcome to join before you leave if you want. And yeah, looking forward to jamming. And and like I said, I'll share your links momentarily too. If JX, you did want to introduce yourself or say hello, then feel free. We'd love to hear from you. But otherwise, I suppose I can get started. I'll give it like maybe 5 seconds in case anybody wants to jump in. And otherwise, we'll get started with the presentation. And we'll wrap up the Optimism Fractal after seeing a bit about Jose's work. And then we'll go into the Optimism Town Hall.
Yo, good day, everyone. My name is Jed XO. I'm a musician out of the heart of Nigeria, and it's my first time being in the Optimism Fractal, actually, and I must say it feels so welcoming. So yeah, it's amazing. I'm here to network and learn about what this really is all about. So yeah, thank you for having me, Dan.
All right, excellent. Well, you're very welcome, JX. I'm glad you find it so welcome and have been enjoying it. I see Abraham putting up the heart, and yeah, I would love to hear your music as well. If you feel like giving a little concert for us as well, then feel free, but no pressure, of course. And if you want to share any links as well, where we can learn more about your work and your music, then feel free to do so. I'd be happy to pull it up on the screen too if you want, or I shared it in the Discord. You could share it there as well. So thanks so much, JX, for joining and sharing your thoughts. If there's anything else you want to share, then feel free to do so. And I hope that you enjoyed the respect game and you'll be inspired to join us again when we meet again in a couple weeks. Also, shout
Oh
out.
yeah,
Go ahead.
definitely. I'm gonna share a link to the only one song I have on Optimism, so you guys can check it out on your free time. But yeah, this is amazing, and I'm definitely gonna make it a thing to keep joining. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for having me, my friend.
You're very welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for sharing the links. And yeah, you're welcome back to join anytime. I hope you'll enjoy it and get a lot of value from it. And we can also support your work with music on Optimism as well. And looking forward to sharing, or well, looking forward to seeing the link when you post it. And then I can also bring it up on the screen too. And then looking forward to listening very much. We have even more musicians, Jose. More musicians joining the chat. Shout out also to Zao from the Zao Fractal, host and founder of the Zao Fractal, for bringing together a lot of musicians too, and introducing musicians to the Respect game as well. So, very grateful for all the work he's been doing, and looking forward to seeing so many more amazing musicians and just diving into the work of the musicians in Optimism. Love to see how the Superchain and Ethereum can empower creative communities. Amazing to see. Okay, well, JX, Jose, if there's anything else you want to share, anybody else, then feel free. Otherwise, I have everybody's links up here, so I think that I'll go ahead and share my screen, and we'll get started with the next stuff on the agenda.
I have to go for now, but I have the Sound XYZ link of JX. I'm on the Discord. We can connect anytime. And well, bye for now. But yeah, thank you for the space and for the opportunity to share.
All right, sounds great, Jose. Thanks for joining the Discord. I look forward to collaborating with you and seeing you more. I encourage everybody to check out the Impact concert with Giveth that he's hosting with Easy, as well as the music he shared on Giveth too. Feel free to share that in the Discord if you haven't yet, so we can follow up with that. But thanks so much, Jose, and hope you have a great day. All right, so yeah, these are the links that he shared here for the Impact concert with the Giveth and Second Edition happening on Friday, February 7th at 3 p.m. EST. And this is the Giveth page where you can see the live concerts that he does here and find more details. I think he's probably got links to more of his music here too. Yeah, Twitter over there. So looking forward to following and everything like that. And then he shared two other links about the University of Ancestral Knowledge here that he's working with and Nigerian human or documentary about Nigerian human trafficking. So shout out to Jose for putting these together and sharing. I encourage people to check it out. And then here is the link that was shared by JX. I don't think that I can play it and have it played through the audio right now. I'd have to do some audio routing there, but encourage people to check it out. This is posted on Sound XYZ, which is a music platform that's built on Optimism, or maybe built on Optimism, where you can mint NFTs and a lot of great musicians there. I've been following it and it's really exciting. So sound.xyz/Jed GJEDXO/lost is this song here. If you want to make any comments on that JX, then feel free. But otherwise, encourage people to check it out. And I see you have quite a few followers here and people enjoying it too. So yeah, looking forward to listening and learning more about your work, JX. And thanks for joining and sharing with us. And I suppose if JX doesn't want to comment on that any further and anything else, we are 18 minutes past the hour, so we could jump into the next topic or the next event or the next event. Yeah, the next thing on the agenda. So thanks so much, JX. Encourage people to check out Lost from Jed XO. And before we go into that town hall, thank you everybody so much for playing the Respect game and joining Optimism Fractal. I often forget to wrap up Optimism Fractal, but if anyone wants to join me, I'm going to say a quick go Optimism Fractal, and then we'll send us into the Optimism Town Hall. So thanks all so much. We'll see you next time on Thursday the 20th for Optimism Fractal. And now we're going to shut the Optimism Town Hall and go Optimism Fractal.